For a half a century, it has been a tradition almost as big as the Lone Star State. Welcome to this year's 4th of July parade in Arlington, the 50th anniversary dedicated to the citizens of Arlington. Happy Independence Day, everyone, the 239th birthday of our country with Angie Beam. I'm John Nelson. We're at the corner of South Pecan and Abrams Street, right maybe about 50 yards from City Hall. Over 100 years ago, this used to be State Highway 1. Angie, what a day we have. It was 93 degrees last year. I don't know if we're going to get to the 90s before 12 o'clock today.
Hey, I am keeping my fingers crossed. It is beautiful out here, very pleasurable, and I think we're right at about 79 right now. So let's hope that hangs on for as long as possible.
Over 40,000 expected over this 2-mile route, and again, this is the 50th year. It doesn't seem like a half a century. There have been 7 mayors since Tom Vandegrift. Jeff Williams is the newest. He'll be in the parade this morning. Your amazing art show. We have a kaleidoscope of colors that you can certainly relate to what you do for the Arlington Independent School District.
Definitely. I mean, mainly I'm seeing a lot of red, white, and blue, but just awesome amount of spirit here today, and I can definitely, as an artist, appreciate that. So yeah, we're doing great.
This is one day that you cannot wear enough red, white, and blue. Arlington's finest, there is Old Glory, a lot of American flags along the routes, and the familiar fire truck arch right over Abrams Street. You know, they started that on September 11th, and with all that has gone on since then, you still have a big city setting, but yet a small town family atmosphere. This is one of the largest parades in the state and one of the largest in the country.
In 2001, I actually walked in the parade, and we had done a unity flag along with the Lions Club of Arlington, and each school had made patches that created a huge Texas flag that I can remember carrying through these streets. So that's a really neat experience to have participated, and now I'm kind of on the other side of things, getting to see all of the excitement on the faces of the people participating today.
Well, nothing in this city has gone on longer on a continuous basis, the 4th of July parade. It's funded 100% by the community. The Arlington Community Band with our national anthem. And for the 32nd year, the 75-member Arlington Community Band providing the national anthem on the steps of City Hall. Rick Baker is the conductor.
Beautiful
Angie,
voice.
No parade can go without sponsors. There are 4 different levels of sponsors, and certainly the city is indebted to them. Who are some of them this year?
Definitely.
Some of them are continuous.
Yes. Our gold sponsors this year is going to be the Arlington Board of Realtors, A.E. Pesci Property Company, Alan and Bonnie Pesci, Candlelight Inn, one of my favorites, BMW of Arlington, and the Fitness Connection. Our blue sponsors this year is going to be Smart Arlington, Roy Bingham Insurance, Engraving Concepts, Downtown Arlington Management Corp., Chick-fil-A, World Trailer Incorporated, and Frost Bank. Our white sponsors are going to be David's Barbecue, Tequila Saltillo, and Steel City Pops. Our red sponsors are going to be Brooklyn's Best Pizza, Dan Dipert, Barry Johnson and Company, CPA, Sal Joe's Pizza, one of my favorites right there in Pantego, and TJ's Catfish and Wings, and Pearson and Beer. Nuts and Bolts Hardware. Thank you also to Mayor Jeff Williams, the City Manager Trey Yelverton, and then all of the city staff, especially the Arlington Police, for all of their work, the Fire, Parks, and Water Republic, and all of the school district for providing all of the workspace and the bus barn and the float construction, and to UTA for the use of its college park and the parking spaces and areas for us to work in, restrooms and free shuttle buses. And I also wanted to make sure that everybody understood that the University of Texas at Arlington, City of Arlington, and Arlington Independent School District, Fort Worth Star Telegram, and many volunteers of Arlington are associated with this parade today.
A lot of T-shirts. This year's T-shirt design was open to the public for the first time, and I know he has some information about that.
Yes, I am sure that Brian Spencer St. John is super excited to be watching all of these people walking around with his shirt on today. He created a very stylish two-color vintage font motif, red and blue imprint colors on a sports gray T-shirt, and fine job, Brian. Very nice.
And the poster design, a young student from Young Junior High, Jaylee Chin, designed this year's poster, which is there's the T-shirt. Kind of a retro look, as it might have appeared 50 years ago. The past and the future. But some of the posters have been displayed around the schools and the city as well, and some excellent artwork. Roxanne Thalman is the president, Bob Callis is the vice president, Dee Schilling the treasurer, June Owens the secretary, Robert Miles, Dee Schilling, Jenny Waldrop, Kevin Donovan, our own Robert Spence, Claudia Perkins, Donna Darovich, Mac McKee, a lot of people behind the scenes that really work all year long. This just isn't a one-day event. It is planned as soon as this parade is over. And again, they had a big crowd last night. I want to say 40 to 50,000 down here at the Levitt Pavilion on Founders Plaza for Light Up Arlington. Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Bluegrass Band provided the free music and a huge fireworks display after that concert was over. Well, Donna Darovich earlier had a chance to visit with some parade dignitaries, a time to reflect and get thoughts about 50 years of this parade.
We're here today with Elizabeth Aquino, Joe Johnson, and Joanne Stewart. Ladies, thank you for being with us today.
Thank you for inviting us.
50 years ago this month, the Church Women United, with leaders Dottie Lynn and Beverly Leggett, decided Arlington needed something patriotic, like a parade, and they put one together. It was primarily youth on decorated bicycles, and the route was just around Randall Mill Lake there at Randall Mill Park. Today, it's 160 entries, and it lasts for 2 hours, and it's 2 miles in downtown Arlington. So this is the 50th anniversary of the Arlington 4th of July Association Parade, and we're going to talk today with 3 veterans of the parade. But start us off by telling us how long you've been with the parade. Elizabeth, you're in charge of judging, and how long have you been with the association?
I've been in charge of the judging since 1989.
Okay.
I actually judged bicycles. That was back before the judges had to live out of Arlington.
And we're going to talk about that in a little bit.
I lived in Arlington and got to judge the bicycles.
Well, while we're on that, let's just talk about that. You have some criteria for the judges. You just mentioned one of them, and mention it again.
They do have to live out of Arlington.
Because?
Because we feel that that would be more of a concise
and be more fair.
More fair.
More fair. No
judging.
Favoritism would be shown
no
because they're not from Arlington. Okay. And how many judges do you have approximately?
Usually 3 per category.
And how many categories? A lot of categories.
A lot of categories, and I can't really remember
I don't think I've ever counted them, but I
haven't either.
20 maybe.
We have at least 34 judges.
And that's one of the things I think people love about the parade is we give so many different awards in those categories that the odds of you winning a trophy are pretty good.
Right.
But it's the fun you have doing it, getting ready for it, and being in it.
Yes.
Joe and Joanne, you've both been president of the board. So what are some moments that have stood out with you? I know you're too young to have been in the parade for 50 years, been involved with it, but you have been in it long enough to have seen a lot of changes. So, Joanne, what's one of the biggest changes you've seen?
I think one of the biggest changes that I've really noticed is the technology and how things have been made so much easier than they were back in 1985 when I became a member of the board. the community coming together, and the parade floats all being of a higher quality. Everything about the parade seems to improve every year.
Every year. Well, and you mentioned social media, and I think you had told us once right before we started that before social media, the parade was a good way for people to get together. And now we do it a lot through social media. Last year, I know, there were thousands of tweets sent out on social media and on Facebook from people in the parade and all along the route. So that's the way we do it now. But you saw it before we had that.
That's right. And there was a lot of work involved at that time in the 1980s. But even though it's easier now, it's still a lot of work for all the participants.
And you mentioned the bigger floats. Joe, would you say that having the professionally built floats has been a turning point in the parade?
It certainly was an important part of the change that has evolved over the years. I guess it's all been exciting.
It has been. You know, I know the people who work on the parade, and we should at this point mention, because a lot of people don't know this, that parade is put on by the Arlington 4th of July Association, which is all volunteers.
Yes.
We get wonderful help from the City of Arlington and AISD and UTA, but the core group that does the sweat work for this parade that works all year long, strictly volunteers. And how is the parade funded? Elizabeth, you know that probably as well as I do. Sponsorships.
The parade through the sponsorships.
Yes.
It's
And
people
this
that
year,
love the parade.
They do. And this year, I think they have been particularly supportive. We have more sponsors than I think we've ever had before. So, but what about some highlights over the years that you've all three been involved? Is there any one moment or one parade that stands out in your memory? What about after 9/11?
It's when they put the fire ladders up over
In the big
Abram
V
Street.
across
Yes.
Abram, yeah.
That was
And
awesome.
everybody likes that.
Right.
And we have to mention the police and the fire have always been so supportive of the entire association.
And UTA has really taken a major
Oh,
role
yes,
with
they
their big
have.
college park district.
Yes.
They have events all before and after the parade. In fact, I think they have a big show at their planetarium right after the parade. And I can't think of a cooler, literally, place I'd want to go than the planetarium than afterwards. But what about the Vietnam War?
Well,
Vietnam veterans in the parade.
that was probably one of the most memorable moments that I can think of, and I've been around a long time. The Great Southwest Vietnam veterans entered for the first time in the year that I was president. And it was so exciting because the response from all the people that were spectators, each time they were announced, everybody stood up and applauded. And when they came by City Hall, they were in tears.
Yes.
And we were in tears.
And you know, the crowd still does. The crowd,
Yes.
this crowd really appreciates the military. And when they come by, whether it's the Korean War vets, World War II, they support them. Well, Elizabeth, back to the
Yes.
judges for just a moment. Tell us about the woman who's kind of the godmother, who was the godmother of the judges of the parade.
Well, it was Miss Ruthie Jackson from Grand Prairie. She was the mayor pro tem. Wonderful example of a patriotic person who, even though she lived in Grand Prairie, her heart was in Arlington on the day of the 4th of July parade.
Absolutely.
She
And I know
really,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
she really treated us all as if we were her daughters.
And everybody loved Ruthie
Everybody
Jackson.
loved her, still do.
Absolutely.
We
Well,
still
you
do.
have a memento, I noticed, on our set
I do.
today. It says George W. Bush.
Yes.
Tell us about how you got this associated with the parade.
Well, back in 1995, he was the Grand Marshal of the parade. And I had a friend, Darlene West, who really wanted to get a picture with him. So she, being the determined person she was, she said, let's get a picture.
Yep.
Well, being the person that I am that tries to follow all the rules, even though my name is Trouble, I followed what she said, and we went to get our picture with him on the parking lot. People didn't know he was actually out there, but he was.
Yes.
We got our picture, along with all the security guards that were there
I
to
bet.
protect him
I
We
bet.
got protected too, but we did get a picture. So
And
it
I
was
think you would
pretty
all three
special.
agree, and I know you have kind of a special role in this, that another turning point of the parade was when all the bands from all the Arlington
Yes.
high schools
Yes.
were in it. And
Yes.
I know you talked to the folks at Martin about, we need to be in there when they
I
were.
did. I didn't understand why Sam Houston was always so supportive of
And
the
still
parade,
is.
and still is, and will always be. I didn't understand why. Yes, I didn't understand why Martin wasn't, but
They
back
are now.
Yes.
Yes.
I believe that was in 89, 90. They were in the parade, and they are now. And
And one of the good
It was
things about the
Sure.
local high schools being in the parade, I understand, is that they aren't judged, but there's a reason why they're not judged.
That's right.
They're not, but I guess they're really probably kind of rehearsing for a UIL contest by being in the
they
parade.
were judged at one time,
Uh-huh.
but that's back when Martin won state, but they didn't win first, second, or third, or grand prize, any prize in our parade.
Huh.
So they decided that it was detrimental to the school
Right.
when they won in state, but they didn't win in the parade, so they decided not to be judged.
Oh, okay.
But if you'll notice, they perform like they are being
they all-
judged.
they all perform
all
like they're being
All the
judged.
bands do a great job
And
creating spirit.
This year I hear that the UTA band, not the whole marching band, but a portion of it is going to be in the parade. That's
Yes.
always difficult because UTA students are gone
Right.
to the four winds around the world
Right.
in the summertime. So I'm glad they're going to have that in their
Right.
entry this year.
Yes.
Any other special memory of the parade? We've talked about the Vietnam veterans and 9/11. Anything personally that stands out? We're doing a lot of things different. In fact, I'll be remiss if I don't show this. Our T-shirt.
Yes.
This is the
Right.
official T-shirt. If you go to our Facebook page or our website, you can see what stores in town are selling these, and we'll sell some of them if there's any left of the day of the parade. But
Yes.
that's a new one. But that's just an example of something to raise funds.
Right.
And so we try and come up with a really nice shirt and sell it cheap, and hopefully people will wear it on parade day.
Well, I think the contest also with the young people is very important, that
Yes.
they design the
For
shirt.
the
Well,
school
now this year
district.
they didn't design the shirt, but we had the poster contest,
Okay.
and the people and students in Arlington high schools, junior highs. In fact, there were some of the poster designs I would love to have on a T-shirt also.
Right.
So those art students really do a good job. But isn't that just another example of how the parade and the association has tried to work with the city, UTA, and the school district? Absolutely.
Yes.
Those posters are great. Well, so your day's going to start real early on July 4th, which will be what time? What time will you be there?
I usually get there about 5:30 because people come
5:30
in. The
a.m.
judges, yes.
Yes.
The judges come from Plano, Temple, Fort Worth, Mansfield, different times.
Okay. And so you're there to
They
greet
come
them.
for breakfast, and I want to make sure I'm there.
Okay.
And so that they feel very welcome.
Okay. And we want to mention two other new things in the parade for folks. We're asking everybody to bring a non-perishable food item
Yes.
for Arlington
That's
Charities.
That's
We
awesome.
have probably 70,000 spectators. If everybody bought
Wouldn't
a
that be
non-perishable
wonderful?
item, we could feed Arlington
Yes.
people who need it for a while.
That's
and the other
awesome.
is the Ruby Odom Patriotic Hat Contest.
Right.
Come to Nat Park right after the parade, wear your hat, and we'll have some prizes in
Right.
honor of our former First Lady.
Yes, that's
well,
awesome.
former
Okay.
board members, thank y'all so much for what you've done for so many years, and we know we'll see you Saturday morning, and Arlington will be all red, white, and blue once again.
Yes.
That's right.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Thank
being
you
here.
for having us.
You're
yes.
welcome. You're
yes.
welcome.
Thank you, ladies. It's kind of nice to get a little bit of history, and instead of one or two bands back then, Angie will have all 6 bands and drill teams. So we'll fill this Abrams Street with a lot of music today.
We're going to be rocking it out for sure.
You know, the city of Arlington now has a new logo and a new brand. Arlington is now the American Dream City. When you think back 50 years ago, the population then maybe 55,000, now well over 370,000. Again, some 45 to 50,000 will line this 2-mile route this morning.
We're definitely growing for sure. You can see it all over the city, just new businesses popping up and lots of people moving in. So that's definitely good for our city.
And some bright young faces. You know, back in 1966, a lot of these kids that sat on the curbs are now participants and maybe parade dignitaries. Maybe
Yeah.
they march in the parade, but what goes around kind of comes around. Once you come down here and see this event, you'll want to come back year after year. Maybe you didn't feel that way after you marched that one year at Arlington High. Parade is just about ready to start. We're looking west. McDonald's and Wendy is on the right, those restaurants, but we're maybe 4 or 5 minutes away from getting started. That's West Street. You know, the parade route is a little over 2 miles. It starts just south of the UTA campus on Cooper and Mitchell. It heads east on Mitchell, then a little bit north, goes by us here on South Pecan and Abram, takes a hard right on Center Street, and then back to the assembly area. And about an hour and a half ago, that assembly area was rather busy. Some 3,000 people are gathered there to check in the morning and get everything started on this 4th of July. It kind of thins out, but it can be a madhouse around 7 or 7:30.
I drove by there this morning, and there were just tons and tons of floats and people, and it looked a little chaotic, but I think it's all very well planned, so that's good. And then yesterday morning, as I was walking in my neighborhood, I saw a gentleman who was preparing his vehicle for the parade, so I was like, hey, are you going to be at the parade? So he told me he was very excited to be celebrating the 50th and excited to be in the parade this year. So
you'll see a lot of vintage automobiles, and if you're so inclined to take in more fireworks, after the Ranger game tonight at Globe Life Park, there's a huge fireworks display as the Texas Rangers take on, let's call them what they were back then, the California Angels. So there'll be a huge fireworks display at Globe Life Park tonight. And we're just about ready for another 4th of July parade, the 50th year. The color guard established back in 1986. It presents the national colors at local, national, and of course the international events and ceremonies to honor fallen officers. I just can't get over how conducive this is to maybe a early October or late September.
yes, we
Weather
are very
day.
blessed today for sure.
Last time the parade was on a Saturday was back in 2009. In fact, the theme then was the American Dream City. We mentioned the mayors, Tom Vandergriff. There was also S.J. Stovall, Harold Patterson, Richard Green, Elsie Odom, Robert Cluck, and now Jeff Williams. 7 mayors over this last half century. A lot of awards, 18 separate awards, trophies for this parade. Big ceremony at 1 o'clock at Knapp Heritage Park, just behind Babe's Chicken and the Arlington Music Hall.
And I hear that there's going to be a hat contest also held at the Knapp Heritage Village.
Yeah, Elsie Odom's wife, Ruby, was always resplendent in a different red, white, and blue hat every year.
Nice.
There's Arlington's finest, and we are underway.
We've got 12 motorcycle officers, 2 sergeants, 1 lieutenant. We support that are supporting the patrol division, conduct escorts, directs traffic, and performs traffic enforcement duties. First Arlington Police motorcycle hit the streets in 1912.
And there's the parade banner carried by members of the cross-country track and field team, members at Arlington Classics Academy. And the 36th Infantry Division Band, also known as the Lone Star Band. It's under the command of Warrant Officer Jeff Lightsey.
They sound amazing. And coming up next, I see our sponsor banner. Thanks to the generous businesses and institutions that have made the 50th parade possible.
And the Grand Marshals, former members of the Arlington 4th of July Association, Brett Bell, Francis Foster, Dee Schilling, Verna Brown, Don Falafalita, Karen Fox, Joe Johnson, Dan Mathis, Seth and Kerry Russell, Art Smith, and Jim and Martha Steebing. Also Robert Miles. There's over 170 years of experience right there. The past Grand Marshals, and a tip of the hat for their hard work over the last 50 years.
And I see some nice cars coming our way.
That's of the current vintage. Got Corvettes, Camaros.
And lots of red and white flags.
So past and current board members are Grand Marshals for 2015. And there's the current mayor, Jeff Williams, unseated the incumbent Robert Cluck in the May elections. His wife, Karen, visited with him a little bit at the breakfast this morning. Certainly has a lot of plans ahead for this city. Well, Angie, you're familiar with what's coming into view right now.
I know, I'm super, super excited. We've got 2 alumni sitting here, and I am seeing that the Arlington High School cheerleaders are headed this way. The spirit, pride, and tradition of Arlington High School, the principal, Xavier Della. And this is the varsity, the JV freshman cheerleading squads, joined by mascot Little Arlie. And these cheerleaders support many of the athletics groups that are on campus and compete in national championships every year. The coaches are Stephanie Stewart, Christine Worley, and Emily Rossi.
That's the current Little Arlie.
Yeah.
The original Little Arlie was a white Shetland. They will bring out for everything. Yeah, from time to time, you'll maybe see that at special events.
Yeah. I see a few familiar faces in there.
Here are the Colt Kickers, the award-winning grand champion Arlington High Colt Kickers. They're under the direction of Ms. Jenny Hammock, the drill team.
They're looking good this morning. Very spirited.
They support many athletic groups on campus and compete in championship events every year.
And now we've got the Arlington High School Marching Band under the direction of Michael Hinney.
I think they're about ready to fire up their instruments here. Let's listen to the Arlington Colt Marching Band. Can you still remember the words to the Sons of the White and Green?
I can. Maybe not all of them, but some of them.
Arlington High's first football game will be on August 28th against Duncanville. That game will be at UTA's Maverick Stadium.
Outstanding as always. They sound great.
Yeah, this may be the full band. Our first of 6 bands this morning. There's a little bit of a holdup at the Arlington High Alumni Association. Will follow. There they are. Trailer decorated with horseshoes and horse cutouts. They'll come into view very shortly. One person doing horse impression. Shavir Dalla may be on that trailer as well. Possibly another miniature Little Arlie. The Alumni Association started back in 1996. They've given over $100,000 to school for student scholarships and special grants for teachers. You know, Abrams Street, this old route for the interurban street line, will be rebuilt in the next couple of years into kind of a park-like pedestrian-friendly setting with on-street parking lots, lots of shade, and sitting areas. So in a couple of years, you may not recognize Abrams Street. One thing for sure, it is filled up from corner to corner.
I'm excited
right
to see what that's going to look like.
Former Colt alums. See how enthusiastic they are here in about an hour and a half.
Very true.
They've got a good ride.
That's right.
They've got a sweet ride.
And the Arlington High School Alumni Band is coming up next. Started more than a decade ago. And they are all ex-Arlington High School band members from the classes of 1957 through 2014.
It's a retro 1950s Ford truck.
Any ex-band members are welcome to join.
Key Club. Their first parade experience. Student Key Clubbers are affiliated with Kiwanians, an international student-led organization that provides members with opportunities to provide service, build character, and develop leadership. The Arlington High School Key Club. And there's Rangers captain. He snuck in.
I see that.
He's got a long day ahead. Well, here's the Mayor's Award, Angie, and this is chosen in the assembly area at 7:30 in the morning. Doug Russell Drive is the location. And Tarrant County College.
They've got it going on. They've got bubbles. Awesome, awesome float.
Tarrant County College is this year's Mayor's Award winner.
And the City Council, governing body of Arlington, is the 51st largest city in America. And the Arlington City Council is has the mayor with them, Jeff Williams. And the other honorable council members include Sherry Capehart, Lana Wolf, Catherine Willman, Jimmy Bennett, Michael Glaspie, Robert Shepard, Robert Rivera, and Charlie Parker, and the city manager, Trey
Yelverton.
Yelverton.
I saw Trey and Catherine Weilman this morning as well. Arlington Fire Department, these men and women really training constantly to improve and maintain their skills to save property and lives. Fire Chief is Don Croson. Hole number 17. That's the Viridian. I believe that's the Viridian logo, the V.
Symbol on the front of that fire truck.
Arlington Police Department with more than 400 sworn officers. Citizen on patrol. And their patrol cars. Our first of several dignitaries is behind the citizens on patrol entry.
U.S. Representative Joe Barton has served Arlington in this region since 1984, making him one of the senior members of Congress. He was selected by his colleagues to be the chairman of the House Committee in 2004 and on the Energy and Commerce.
Wall Street Journal called him the House GOP's leading expert on energy policy.
Yes.
Joe Barton. State Representative Tony Tinderholt wrapped up a legislative session not too long ago, represents District 94. He's accompanied by his wife, Bethany, a former Martin High School Warrior and Dallas Cowboy cheerleader.
State Representative Chris Turner serves the people of Arlington and Grand Prairie in the Texas House of Representatives. Thanks to all of our Grand Marshals.
The American Red Cross, thousands of volunteers, riders this morning decorated as well as the vehicles in the normal red, white, and blue. Every dollar helps to bring healing to someone suffering. The American Red Cross. And some very familiar faces coming into view. More Red Cross members.
Thousands of volunteers with the American Red Cross. They're always there whenever there is a natural disaster or man-made disaster.
You know these folks?
I know these folks well.
I do too.
Arlington Independent School District familiar one-room schoolhouse float. Includes the members of the school board, Jamie Sullen, Aaron Reach, John Hibbs, Keisha Mays, Bowie Hogg, and new members, Polly Walton and Kristen Hudson.
It hasn't broke down, it's just slow moving. I don't think it needs a push.
Are you sure about that?
Well, now wait a minute. Somebody's gotten out on the passenger side.
See people exiting.
We may have a little vehicle repair or some assistance coming.
Yes, I see it. This is going to be man-powered.
There you go. That's how they did it in the 1900s when you couldn't get it started. Question is, how far can they go? They're going to have to recruit some more pushers.
They are.
Just get it to the judge's stand and hope for the best. A breakdown on Abram Street. In the shade, there you go. Can't tell if it overheated or just
I don't know.
something mechanical has happened. But hey, it's out of the way and we'll clear the way. See some miniature horses. And General Motors not far behind. That was TxDOT. Okay.
I see some of my students on there.
All right, the Arlington Miniature Horse Association Driving Club. These minis can do a lot with a little amount of height that they have, maybe 3.5 feet high.
Yes. And they are all decorated up for the 4th. I even see shiny hooves.
Nice day for a ride.
In the Arlington Mounted Police Unit, the parade is the first public appearance for this Arlington Police Mounted Unit. The mounted officers are Corporal Cliff Elliott, who organized it, and Officer Tim Hines, and Detective Pam Gold. Mobility is very important for Arlington Police, who use everything from conventional patrol cars and tactical vehicles to bicycles, motorcycles, which you've already seen today, horses, and even drones.
I even know some of the horses' names. I was given that information. General Motors United Auto Workers Riding Team. They're here and they have a proud tradition. Their 26th year, the GM plant. It's the only General Motors plant building the popular large SUVs from Chevy Tahoes to the Yukons. Team president is Brenda Husky, sweetheart Ashley Crockett, and leading the way. The horsepower has passed our automobile.
Girls with Horses is a riding club consisting of males and females. It was started in 2005 to promote trail riding in Texas. How fun could that be?
Mm-hmm.
Sponsored by Double L Horseboarding.
And there's the MVP. There's the most valuable participants following the horses.
We're very thankful for them.
Our Model T truck still across the way. The driver's on the cell phone. That wouldn't have happened 50, 60 years ago, but a little bit of technology may bail him out this morning. We may have our second of 6 bands coming into view as the street sweeper does its thing on Abram Street.
I think that's the University of Texas at Arlington.
Stop Kabari is the UTA president. 50 years ago, they were Arlington State College and part of the Texas A&M system. Can't believe there's over 50,000 students on campus based right now. A lot of them taking classes online, ranked as one of the 20th fastest growing public research universities in the nation. And there's Blaze, the mascot. And there's President Kabari, UTA dignitaries. Little Formula One auto that UTA takes part in building those every year. The Knights of Columbus, the only entry that has been in this parade all 50 years. The 4th degree Knights are in full regalia carrying the colors of the U.S. Papal, the Knights of Columbus. They have donated over $170 million They have over 70 million volunteers. They were recognized by President George H.W. Bush as one of his 1,000 points of light for their good works. Let's give this historic entry a big hand. The Knights of Columbus.
See lots of furry friends here today as well. Decked out in their finest.
James Bowie, the Volunteers. Spirited team coached by Rachel Luckett, Carrie Ellis, and Krista Williams. And the Bowie Bells, the award-winning Bowie Bells dance and drill team, and followed by the new junior varsity team. And going to hear some more music, Angie, in just a couple of seconds. The Bowie High School Band, drum majors Abigail, Nick, Stephanie, and Jessica. 160 strong. So the spirit of the Volunteers here for the 50th.
And the world famous Wheeling Elvi. They are the noisiest entry in the parade for sure. They are expert riders of tiny but very zippy little Honda mini trails. And they are doing all kinds of tricks for us this morning.
This is the only time you can ride the center stripe of Abrams Street. Only time it'll happen.
Doing a wheelie, standing. I wonder how much hairspray it took to get that hair to stand up like that.
2 cans per Elvis.
I may need to borrow some. I'm feeling a little flat myself.
Well, I'm sure they could accommodate you. Those are mini trails, souped up mini Hondas. They look all shook up.
They do.
You know, there used to be about 6 of them, and now,
It looks like they're having to fight them back with a stick.
yeah, about a minimum of 12 or so.
Yeah.
Here's the Fort Worth Star-Telegram. Speaking of red, white, and blue, have you read your newspaper today? On the float, Sandra Baker, the business writer, Max Baker, the oil and gas reporter, Patrick Walker, the Metro and Citizen Journal editor, also sports writers Jeff Williams and Clarence Hill. Columnist Faye Reeder. Driving the float is Ralph Nichols from advertising. Isn't that appropriate? Advertising is what drives a newspaper.
That's true. And the Candlelight Inn restaurant and bar. Checking out this double
Vintage Corvette.
I think.
Arlington Board of Realtors, CEO President Larry Johnson, Board Chairman Pamela Bookout, the parade gold sponsor. And their float certainly shows a style of homes that may have changed coming into view over the last 50 years. We'll see a 1965 Cadillac, there it is, and a 2015 Corvette. The association's charitable foundation, the Arlington Board of Realtors Community Service Foundation, supports community by assisting those who can't help themselves by rehabbing exteriors of homes, volunteer work, and scholarships. They have helped more than 30 families rehab their homes and given many college scholarships. The Arlington Board of Realtors. And again, a gold sponsor and a big entry. You know, that Candlelight Inn, I think it had a menu. That remodeled iconic restaurant on Division.
Yes. Tex-Mex, steak, Italian dishes.
Alan Pesci responsible for getting that started back up. Father Guido was snuck in.
I'm not familiar.
Well, he was a fixture and now has made another appearance. BMW of Arlington.
He just sneaks in.
Yeah, he just emerged out of the curb.
I guess so. BMW of Arlington is a gold sponsor of our anniversary parade. And then they're located on Lamar Drive in North Arlington.
Here's Fitness Connection. Regional managers Brandy Graves and Lisa Ramirez and Jim Langstrom. Group fitness coordinator and instructors are walking.
And this 1923 Model T is owned by Bob Sherwood and Will Allen. Bob is the current president of the Arlington Historical Society. In the early 1920s, if you wanted to pick up a truck, you bought a rolling chassis from Ford.
Here's DFW International Airport Public Safety. Our military and Department of Public Safety personnel endeavors to protect our world. DFW supports strives to connect our world. Their entry number 47, almost 160 entries this year.
As much fun as it looks like it would be to ride on top, I'm thinking inside is a lot cooler.
And a little quieter.
Yes.
There's an Oshkosh Stryker aircraft fire rescue truck. That thing is huge.
It is. Ulster Project. Arlington is an international peace and leadership program. Each July, the families of 12 Arlington teens host 12 teens from Belfast, Northern Ireland. Today's group includes the 24 teens, their 4 adult counselors, and Ulster Project President Jen Fordston.
And the Arlington Cheer Legend cheerleaders. This small business focuses on mentoring youth. AECL coaches teach competition cheerleading ages 5 through 16. Over the past 7 years, they've included winning the 4th of July Parade cheerleading competition 4 consecutive years.
And their float there looking like a big birthday cake. Texas Health Arlington Memorial Auxiliary. Texas Health Arlington Memorial Auxiliary gives tribute to Arlington's 50th 4th of July parade with the spirit of 1776 and the high-flying military salute.
Korean War veterans.
Yes.
James Wetmore driving his World War II vintage Jeep. In the back seat is Larry Kennard, National President of Korean War Veterans Association, and in the front, President of Chapter 215, A.J. Key, former Arlington Police Chief. And receiving a standing ovation on those along the curb here at Pecan and Abram.
Glad to see Craig Real Estate invited minions to join their very patriotic entry that includes the Statue of Liberty, the Freedom Bell, and the Iwa Jima Memorial. Chris Gregg has been recognized as the is the Realtor of the Year by Arlington Board of Realtors. And
Mission Arlington, this 1952 classic Chevy. Oh, it's an Oldsmobile. It's an Olds owned by retired Marine Colonel James Akerback and driven by James Couch. And Iwo Jima is also receiving a standing ovation at display.
yeah, there are nearly 3 million Girl Scouts in the U.S., and marching with Troop 2300 are the girls in the various age groups of the Girl Scouts. From the Daisies for the girls in kindergarten and the first grade through the Ambassadors for the 11th and 12th graders, as well as Brownies, juniors, cadets, and seniors.
Okay, they're back for the first time in 10 years, the Masla Shrine Temple Carvettes, a unit in Fort Worth. Members are businessmen who raise funds to support the Shriners Hospital for children's orthopedic and burn specialties. The Carvettes, their motto was, "We ride so children can have a better life."
And we have another breakdown.
We do? Across the way, you sure do.
DFW Outlaws is a new youth football with a cheer team, and they are looking for those that love the game of football and are looking for family-oriented organization to join them.
Yeah, one of the Carvettes is a little bit low on fuel.
I see that.
So we have two breakdowns across the way. There it is. It's refueled, and it's ready to get back to its fellow Carvettes.
Here come our Outlaws.
Runt, entry number 57.
See some unicyclers coming up here. I saw some of them this morning before the parade started. Guess they were warming up.
Well, any motorized entry is acceptable. One wheel, two wheel, skateboard, trailer, ox cart, anything that rolls is certainly acceptable. The Bedroom Shop in its 50th year. Drivers Jim Kuhn and Udell Bell, that familiar Bedroom Shop 1928 model, that Roadster pickup delivery wagon. They can claim to have been in every single parade. The Bedroom Shop, longtime Arlington company located on West Pioneer Parkway.
Advocates for Special People operates a 3-day habilitation program in Arlington for disabled adults. The executive director, Steve Brooks, and president is Lisa Jameson. They are riding in a deuce and a half retired Army troop hauler in its own red Special People hauler.
We got horsepower, we have every kind of vehicle power this morning in the Sam Houston High School Alumni Association. The president, Darla Pesnell, vice president, Judy Thomas. Big Sam. We'll see a 20 by 30 foot flag that they carry. Second oldest high school in Arlington. Their association, a nonprofit organization serving Sam Houston High School and the Arlington community. The spirit, the pride, and the tradition of the Long Tall Texans. Sam Houston is also 50 years this year. The students that started back at Arlington High in 1963 ended up at mid-semester moving into the new Sam Houston and graduated 2 years later.
And here come the Sam Houston High School cheerleaders. Principal Fernando Benadevis. Sam opened its doors in 1963 at now what is Hutch Junior High. They moved to their current location in 1970. And Hutch is going to be transforming into the AISD Career and Tech Center. Here are your Texan cheerleaders under the direction of Rhonda Sherrill.
And here's the Sam Houston Texan Band. Marching band has a rich tradition of community service. The drill team before the band, they're the Texans. And again, that looks like a full complement. What they show on the football field in the fall.
Yeah.
They're all here. And there's the Sam Houston Band under the direction of Sean Lipscomb. Take part in all UIL level and independent and national competitions. Our third of 6 AISD high school bands. Rich tradition of community service in Arlington and especially East Arlington. They're getting ready for August 28th. Anthony, Chris, and the Texans will take on Manor at Wildman Field that night. Let's listen to the Sam Houston Texan Marching Band.
Dan Dibert was founded in 1972 by the one and only Dan Dibert, offering motor coach tours throughout the nation. The company is proudly known as the transportation system for the Arlington area.
Family owned and operated for over 30 years now.
Saying they are very honored to be here celebrating with us today.
Well, they are twice blessed. These parents, Arlington mothers of multiple, they double up when it comes to everything. They started back in 1958, dedicated to the support, encouragement, friendship, and education of mothers, of families of twins, triplets, or more to the enrichment of the community in which they live. I'm seeing twice as much. What you do for one, you have to do to another, and maybe if you have triplets, another one.
Yep. And we've got the Tarrant County Commissioners Precinct 2, Tax Assessor Ron White, and Justice of the Peace Matt Hayes, Precinct 7, are escorted by the Tarrant County Precinct 7 Constable's Office. They're representing the Tarrant County Precinct 2 and Precinct 7, and they want to extend their sincere congratulations to the Arlington's 4th of July Parade Association.
There's the sons and daughters of the American Revolution. Who better to celebrate the birthday of our nation and the 50th anniversary of our patriotic parade than the sons and daughters of the American Revolution?
Got a
It's
beautiful
members and
cake there.
descendants of the valiant patriots back then.
Riding on there, some of their members. Knapp Properties Real Estate Company was started by attorney James H. Knapp, who is affectionately known as Big Daddy. His original office is still kept at Knapp Heritage Park that is run by the Arlington Historical Society.
And right behind Knapp Properties, the Lone Star Region VCCA. There's a 1957 Chevy. What's more American than hot dogs, apple pie, and Chevrolet?
Not
Lone
much.
Star Region Vintage Chevrolet Club has been showing its cars all over the nation since 1971, a family-oriented club that tried to promote the interest in antique and classic Chevys.
And I see my neighbor here coming up.
All right. Who might that be?
I don't know his name. We just briefly met yesterday on my walk.
But you know that
I
good-looking
know that's
Bel
his
Air?
truck.
Oh.
He was working hard on it.
.40 years old, a 75 Chevy Malibu Classic built in Arlington. How about that? They're back. Trinity Metropolitan Community Church.
Got some of its members walking today. Look at that headdress.
And the YMCA of Arlington Father-Child Program. Entry number 72. So we're more than, well, just about halfway through this 50th parade.
Birthday cakes are a very big theme this year. Seeing lots of birthday cake floats.
Yeah, it's piled high.
Slow Spokes DFW Cruiser Club. They're cruising on along here and jamming out at the same time.
The two-wheelers have, I don't see the kickstand down. They've just come to a little bit of a stop.
The phone says we're going 0 miles per hour.
A lot of bicycle power.
Yes.
And they've only started. Well, maybe a third of the way at the parade route.
They're looking strong. I think they're going to pull through fine.
You can't say this many times on a July 4th, but we haven't seen too many spray misters.
I've seen a couple, but not too many. It's that nice breeze that we're getting, I think, that's helping out a lot.
Nothing like the 108 degrees we had back in 1996. Did have a rain-shortened parade once in 97, but no threat of the wet stuff today.
I know. Arlington Community Association Optimist Club, ACA, is excited to share their 50th anniversary with Arlington 4th of July Parade. They've been partnering with the Optimist Club of Arlington for generations to provide Arlington kids with the opportunity to cheer on an organized squad for Optimist football teams. They have over 400 participants each year, with many going on to cheer at local high schools.
Number 75, the Perrine family, the 1927 Chevrolet touring car. That's the Perrine family's favorite way to enjoy the parade. Hey, our vintage car has rejoined the others.
All right.
It broke down, now it's back into service. The Stripazone vintage Model T truck. And there it goes back. No way he can catch up, but he can kind of sift into a spot there in the middle.
Still Brothers and Associates are marking their 25th year in the parade. The real estate company is proud to be celebrating Independence Day in its hometown. It's been owned and run by Glenn and Charlie Still for more than 27 years.
Here's the Mansfield Pickle Queens. The world's only St. Patty's Pickle Parade is held in Mansfield every year. The Pickle Dude, the Pickle Protectors, and the Pickle Posse in downtown Mansfield next March the 12th.
They look picklelicious.
Everything's kosher.
Trinity Lutheran Church puts a little marimba buzz in the parade with 7 marimbas and their players, all rocking out with Independence Day enthusiasm. The marimba is a cross between the xylophone and a tuned drum, in short. Percussion for sure. Very funky sound.
The Antique Heritage Farm Equipment Club, a group dedicated to helping to preserve these examples of American-made farm machinery that, at their introduction, were highly innovative pieces of machinery.
And I see a 1931 Ford Model A sedan rolling up.
Todd Batiste. That was then, and a few years later, this is my favorite. I had a 74 Corvette, a Corvette Stingray.
Nice.
But I would give anything for that one right there. That looks like a 58 or 59
Beautiful.
Corvette. Cowtown Vets. They represent 7 generations of Corvettes produced by Chevrolet since 1953. There's a sweet-looking 66. That's a more recent vintage. Cowtown Vets. Plastic Fantastic.
170 members, so you're not alone in that passion for Corvettes.
Thing now, the new one will set you back about 60 grand. They're nice to look at now.
Yes. The Arlington Girls Softball Association is celebrating its 45th year of offering girls softball in Arlington. It is considered the premier softball league in Arlington, teaching girls athleticism and sportsmanship. Gives those girls an opportunity to play for both recreational and competitive divisions starting at age 4.
And it won't be long before they host tournaments. The Kissel Antique Vehicle, another parade favorite. Henry Ford's All-Star Salute to the USA, a 1931 Ford Model A, owned and driven by William Kissel. Now, when you bought that new, it was a little over $7,500, even back then.
And I may have to leave for a minute because I see that the Jazzercise Arlington is coming up, and they have got a hot playlist that will distract you from the burn. Burning up to 800 calories per hour. Oh, I'm sorry, not that. You're burning 800 in a 60-minute class.
Now, is that what you call the core strength, or is that another?
It has strike, fusion, core, strength, dance mix, all different kinds of dance.
Here's the Optimus Club bringing out the best in kids, the motto of the Optimus Club that has been serving the youth of Arlington since 1945. This entry celebrates 50 years of patriotism for this parade. The club also supports a scout troop for physically and mentally challenged students.
It's a beautiful float, waving flags.
Well, there's more than 5,000 kids that take part in 3 athletic programs.
And here is Martin High School Principal Marlene Rohde. There are 62 cheerleaders who entertain and lead the spirit of the Martin Warriors. Their sponsors are Sarah Spearer, Kristen Sessions Brown, and Wendy Sexton.
The Sun Dancers, there's that big red Rockin' M. There's the Sun Dancers. The cheerleaders are already ready for their first event in August. Martin will play, who do they play? Oh, they play DeSoto. They go to DeSoto on August 28th. And the 60-member Martin Sun Dancers drill team.
Seeing some familiar faces in there as well.
The pride of Pleasant Ridge. The banner says we're going to Carnegie. Donate to the Martin Warrior Band. Well, here is your Martin High School marching band, directed by Brad McCann. Here's Around Joy. As Martin and their band members complete the walk. Well, they sound in mid-season form already.
Yes.
Around Joy at the Hoop Shack Hoopers, Jerry McNeese is there. The only hoop dance warehouse in Texas.
That sounds like fun too. The Jewell family parade favorite is a fully restored 1930 Franklin Club sedan. Riding in the car are the Jewell family. and the Buer family.
Here's the Arlington Mustangs. Andy White, Sandy White, Barbara Orso are here this morning.
Theater Arlington entry includes the cast and crew of Theater Arlington's youth production of The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, as well as their parents and several theater staff members. Theater Arlington is in its 43rd year producing shows for the city. Show opens July 10th and will run through the 19th. And I misspoke earlier. The Jewell family, they had the Bowie family joining them.
Here's the Tarrant Regional Auto Crimes Task Force. This truck is all assembled from stolen parts. One piece at a time, as they say.
It's a collage of car pieces.
Or fenders and doors and everything else.
Jesse's Roofing Services coming up next depicts common symbols and messages for our freedom and independence. Float is built on a roofing trailer. Jesse's Roofing supports families across the
Metroplex Atheist, a non-profit group that has been meeting in Arlington for over 10 years. And some more vintage Cadillacs. The North Texas Regional Cadillac LaSalle Club. Cars from the early 40s through the late 80s are this entry's classy addition to the parade. Nothing like a big Caddy convertible. Weighs about 8,000 pounds. 6 miles to the gallon, I don't know.
I don't think that would fit in my garage. It's so long.
That is huge. It's a nice ride there of the recent Cadillac.
Yeah. First Church of the Nazarene is honoring the U.S. Army Sergeant Troy Crabb on its float today. Sergeant Crabb has been deployed 3 times to Kuwait, Iraq, and Afghanistan. The church has also baked a special birthday cake for the parade's 50th celebration and thanks its organizers for memories of the parade as provided for its families. Thanks. And thank you, Sergeant Crabb, for your service and sacrifice for our company. All of our service members for all that they do for our country.
Every branch of the military represented today. The Girl Scout Troop number 1934. One side has a collection of handprints in red, white, and blue, and the other side wishes a happy 4th of July. Number 103, the Christian Classic Cruisers. Wayne and Wanda Kloffenstein. And a 1949 Chevy, a cab-over engine flatbed truck. That's a COE. A lot of horsepower right there. That's a 1941 model. That's what the license plate said. I know it's a 55 across the way. What do you call that? A fuchsia color?
That is very fuchsia.
That's a bronze.
I think that's Al's Hamburgers. At North Collins and Green Oaks is often thought of as Arlington's answer to Cheers. It was all started by Al and Thelma Matthews in 1957. Unfortunately, they've both gone to that heavenly diner in the sky, but Melody continues the family business.
Entry number 106 is Texas Appliance. Carol Ritchie, whom we know well, is aboard. What's more of a 4th of July tradition than a backyard barbecue?
She's whisking up a good time there.
She could turn shoe leather into a steak.
Isis and the Star Dancers are coming up next. Award-winning Isis and Star Dancer Studios is the largest belly dance studio in the nation. Its Bedford studio offers Middle Eastern belly dance, hula, Tahitian, and tribal fusion. It's also home to the Drum of the Isis, one of the largest active tabla drums groups in the nation.
How energetic can you be at 10:30 in the morning? Well, here's proof.
They're definitely working it.
The Arlington United Educators Association, for 22 years, they have helped teachers help the children of Arlington. UEA is the largest teacher association in the Arlington Independent School District, representing more than 4,000 employees. Arlington UEA, right here, right now.
Texas Fit is a family-owned and operated gym in Pantego, Texas. Owners Clinton Springer and Stephanie Springer. And I'd like to say hello to Madeline and Kinsley and Kellen and baby Luke.
First Christian Church of Arlington, they really appreciate vintage cars. This mix will include a 1949 Chevy pickup, a 61 Corvette, a 1970 Chevelle, and I'm told a 1937 Buick.
Got some clowning around walking through here.
Yeah, they were out here earlier. I think they just go back and forth. I do not see the 61 Corvette. I see a 71. If it's a Corvette, it has to be red.
Green Oaks School and Green Oaks Adult Learning carries representatives of the Green Oaks School and Green Oaks Adult Learning Center. These two unique educational programs in Arlington are for individuals with intellectual disabilities. The gator is the school mascot, and this impressive gator was made by the students from completely recycled materials.
All right, they're here from North Arlington, the Lamar High School cheerleaders. Our fifth of 6 AISD high schools. Happy 4th from the LHS cheerleaders. This squad of about 54 girls.
I see those sprayers are coming out now.
Yeah, they are. There's the Mr.
And to cool them off.
The Mrs. Mister. And here's the Lamar High School Band. Drum majors Sarah Richards, Seth Husband, and Trey Mays. They have represented this city and Lamar for 45 years, the pride of Lamar. Their instrumental music department organizations have won Best in Class at festivals in, well, you name it, Tennessee, Florida, Colorado, Georgia, Louisiana, and Washington, D.C. 180 members this morning. Directors Alan Lang, Kerry Burnham, and Matt Bibb. Color guard directors Caleb Hunter Jessica Smith and Malin Messmore.
And followed up by the band are the Vi Queens, directed by Lori Smith and Daryl Light.
Laban DeLay, the new coach at Arlington Lamar, he'll have his first football game August 28th at Richland. That's the next time that band will perform.
Coming up quick. Representing the stylish and informative Arlington Today magazine is the former Mayor Richard Green, president of Arlington Today, as well as columnist, along with the magazine's editor, Yale Youngblood. That snazzy car they're driving has been around a lot longer than either one of them. It's a Ford Model A manufactured by Henry Ford's assembly line between 1927 and 1931.
And there it is. No, it hasn't broken down. It's just waiting. And now the pedal to the metal as it starts up the Arlington Today entry in this year's 4th of July parade. Again, this 50th anniversary dedicated to the citizens of Arlington. There it goes.
We go.
They didn't need AAA or anybody. Well, there's Richard and Sylvia Green. A little backfire and a little smoke. It's trying its best to complete the next mile and a half. Okay, here's SPJST Lodge 183, a fraternal insurance society chartered back in 1897. Their float represented by the Youth Club of Lodge 183 in Arlington.
See some minions on their float as well.
Yeah, there are. Vintage Mustang. David LaFuse, 1964 Mustang convertible.
Carrying 4 generations of Arlington residents in there.
North Texas Corvair Association. For you younger folks, those are the Corvairs from 1960 to 1969. The Corvairs had everything. They had coupes, sedans, pickups, convertibles, vans, and even a race car. They were very popular for a while.
Lots of variety.
Corvairs are hard to find now. Good ones. And most all of them were automatics. There's the Corvair, a rare Corvair van, very rare.
Can't say I've ever seen one of those before.
And again, a station wagon, you don't see too many of them.
The MWF Building Smith LLC, one of the iconic elements of World War II, was the Willys Jeep like this one, owned and driven by Mike Fairchild. Representing MWF Building Smith, this Jeep also comes with a model of the baddest machine gun in the world.
And again, the Willis Jeeps are kind of hard to find now. Good ones that operate. Well, they're not far from here. The familiar Babe's Chicken Dinner House. There's their entry.
Yes,
famous
please.
for its fried chicken and chicken fried steak. Everything made from scratch from the Vineyard family recipes.
Arlington Elks Club gives scholarships and promotes drug awareness and has programs for veterans. They also support the Arlington and Boys Club. Pick up Pulling Elks drug awareness trailer with 4 walkers. I think those walkers have gotten inside.
Well, half of them did. Arlington Elks Club 21-14. Well, this is very popular in November and December, the Chris Kendall Market. So you could say it's Christmas in July in anticipation of the 5th annual Texas Chris Kendall Market, November 27th through December 23rd, just north, just next to Globe Life Park. There's a replica of a vendor hut from the market. Members of the sister cities of Arlington riding on this float, along with the Martin High School World Affairs students who recently returned from a trip to Germany. And Bad Kopenhagen's the sister city of Arlington.
The American Heritage Girls Group, Troop 1221, is a nonprofit organization dedicated to building women of integrity through the service of God, family, community, and country. They are also celebrating their 20th birthday this year. They meet at Grace Covenant Church.
Trail Life USA Troop 1221, nonprofit organization dedicated to building women of integrity through the service of God, family, community, and country. Trail Life USA Troop 1221, founded last year. Organization for young men ages 5 through 24. They have 600 troops worldwide. Trail Life USA Troop Texas 1221.
Entry 127, Richard Borizenko, 1937 Dodge police car decorated just for the parade with vintage bunting and reproduction of the United We Stand flag of the 13 original United States of 1776.
Arlington Sunrise Rotary. Members of their families, Rotary, one of the largest growing and most community-involved Rotary clubs in the old US of A. They meet Fridays early in the morning around 7 at Rolling Hills Country Club on East Lamar. Sunrise Rotary involved with Thornton Elementary, providing prizes for tablets and bikes.
St. Maria Goretti Catholic School is excited to celebrate with Arlington 4th of July's parade. In honor of this great event, the float features a 3-layered cake in red, white, and blue. The students who are riding on the float have their party hats and are enjoying celebrating the parade's 50th anniversary. St. Maria Goretti is one of the oldest Catholic schools in Arlington.
Entry number 131, the Sons of Confederate Veterans, a heritage organization founded back in 1896 by the Confederate veterans. Their membership consists of male descendants of the Confederate veterans. I know they've been doing this a long, long time. And those are the old wool. That's not polyester or flannel. I mean, that's the heavy wool.
That makes me hot. The FIRE group, FIRE stands for Faith Inspired Real Estate. It is a 17-person team of real estate professionals. That's a 1920 Ford and a 1980 Ford fire truck.
About 2/3 of the way through this parade, the Arlington Navy Mothers Club, number 984. And they're receiving a well-deserved round of applause. The Navy mothers raising heroes since 1776.
And the U.S. Coast Guard Auxiliary, missing the water but making the best of the situation, coming up.
Well, the lakes are full. They'll have no trouble
Exactly.
accommodating that boat. U.S. Coast Guard Auxiliary. Next up, we have the Challenge of Tarrant County, founded in 1984. Their program at UTA is Sensible Mavericks Acting Responsibility Together. "50 ways to be drug-free. Know your way."
And coming up right behind them is the Zumba International. Zumba dancers in red, white, and blue Zumba attire performing a Zumba dance routine. They hope to raise awareness of the health and benefits of healthy body weight, exercise, and nutrition. They are getting their exercise this morning.
Are they ever? The North Texas Muscle Cars and Trucks Club, they've been around for a couple of years. They've now grown to over 100 members. In the parade this morning, Al Irving, President, Vice President Joel Layfeld, and Events Coordinator Shelley Irving. They'll have a combination of Camaros, Mopars, Mustangs, and other vehicles. The way it's going this morning, Angie, I would keep those hazard lights on.
Yeah, definitely.
You never know.
Eyes on the road and hazard lights on. Entry 140, Moms Across America. Float features is a all-American with its Victory Garden with Uncle Sam, children dressed as bees, Mother Nature, Lady Liberty, and farmers. An overall wholesome farm theme, reminding us it is very important to eat healthy and safely.
Mansfield Sand and select carnival costumes. This popular ship is back in the parade. It's recreating the famous and historic Boston Tea Party, the event that, of course, played a big role in America's fight for independence and freedom. Now, this ship, built from recycled materials, and the costumes are provided by Carnival Costumes. So, overboard you go, the crates of tea.
And World Education Net, World Education and UTA Continuing Education remind education is freedom. The front depicts online learners, and the globe represents its mission to provide online education, and the back depicts financial freedom as a result from new career opportunities.
The Cooley Steel family, a 1929 Model A Ford, has been in the Cooley Steel family since 1930. It is owned by Dr. Ewan Cooley. Driving the car is the son-in-law Gary Steele and his grandchildren Taylor, Grady, and Sarah Steele. 6 generations in the same family car. I think they'll keep it for a while.
Pugh and Company Incorporated, CPA. This is the first time in the parade for his company, a certified public accounting firm that has been providing professional services for more than 20 years.
And the Longhorn Harley Davidson and Harley Owners Group. They promote safety on motorcycles as well as safety in group rides. That's what the organization is all about, in addition to riding those big hogs. I know that Harley has introduced its first electric motorcycle. It's not in production yet. I believe it'll be ready next year. One One of the owners of a Harley told me that electric Harley will do 0 to 60 in 4 seconds.
Oh my goodness.
Not ready yet though.
Ben Franklin Plumbing already has its patriotic name, but they are adding to their theme this year by decking out the company trucks in familiar hues of Old Glory. I bet they may make a house call today if you had a plumbing emergency. And Minuteman Heating and Air.
Native Revision. These Native American athletes represent more than 25 tribal nations. In fact, they'll be playing tonight at UTA's Maverick Stadium. Their entry features the American Eagle Feathers, Spears, and the Medicine Wheel, led by the Comanche Thunder Drum. Almost ready to suit up tonight.
A moment in time, American Revolution and the path to independence was started by the Tea Party in Boston, so this float from A Moment in Time is very appropriate. Their float reflects one of their special offerings, a full-service Tea Party etiquette lesson, which is extremely popular with parents and Girl Scout troops. On the float, you'll see girls dressed in princess-like dresses, having a great time.
Livable Arlington. This is an electric Nissan Leaf. Their sponsor, Livable Arlington, invites you to visit their Facebook site. Livable Arlington. Let's cut back, way back on our carbon footprint.
Groovy Goods, coming up celebrating the anniversary. Also celebrating the bands The Beatles, The Grateful Dead, The Doors, Pink Floyd, when go-go boots and bell-bottoms were in fashion. They're driving a 1978 VW, Gus the Hippie Bus, and his entourage of entertainers, as well as a restored 1965 VW Beetle.
No, it's not San Francisco. It's Arlington, Texas this morning. Elaine Byrne is the store owner. I believe Gus, that serves as the store mascot. I believe that's... Got a surfboard and a suitcase and a Hawaiian lei on top of that VW. The Arlington Grandmothers Club, Charter 1035. President Grace DeBrick. They're part of the National Federation of Grandmothers Clubs of America.
Chisholm Trail Jeep Club. Can you guess that the members of the Chisholm Jeep Trail Club love Jeeps of all kinds and all ages? Here's a sampling of 8 of those Jeeps. The members want to make a difference in the community by building awareness about organizations such as Patriot Paws, Autism Awareness, and other veterans charities.
One thing they did last winter, they did help in that ice storm. Helped a lot of cars up the icy roads.
Striving to make a positive difference while still carving out a little time to do some four-wheeling.
That's the town of Pantego. The mayor of the town, Melody Paradise, and council members Don Surratt, Fred Adair, and Cole Allen riding on this Pantego fire engine. Chiquero Sotillo, one of the parade sponsors this year. They have 31 locations and is the home of the Real Street Taco.
That sounds delicious right now.
Yeah, it does, even at 10:45. There's Chiquero Sotillo. Have to try that pretty soon.
And I'm hearing some cheering, so that looks like our next group is our Juan Seguin High School cheerleaders. Principal Sam Nix. We've got the Cougar cheerleaders under the direction of Aaron Joyner, Amanda Childress, and Sean Day Gomez.
They were national champs back in 2012 and again in 2014. Our final band and drill team and cheerleading squad this morning. We're just about finished. This parade is almost over. There's the drill team. We'll have the Starline dance team. Also, Seguin's first football game, Carlos Lind, August 27th. That's a Thursday night this year at West Mesquite. Seguin Cougars hoping for a good football season. And here's their band, 120 strong, the Black and Carolina Blue, led by the Cougar mascot. About ready to listen to some more 4th of July music and high school tunes. Or maybe just a snare drum medley.
Maybe.
Our parade marshals, we certainly thank the All-Volunteer 4th of July Association for another great parade and a happy birthday, the 239th of our country. A few of the volunteers, I see Kevin Donovan, all of the hard work they do. Richard Hancock runs the website. Bob Pruitt's a photographer. And the parade marshals. And another one has come to a close. Well, this parade was almost 2 hours. And the 50th, more entries than ever.
Well, it was spectacular.
And we are done. 50 years, a great time to reflect and a time to look ahead. You know, holidays, 4th of July, it comes and goes every year. Holidays comes and go, they come and go every year, but you can celebrate patriotism every day of the year, and patriotism certainly strong this morning. And again, you couldn't wear enough red, white, and blue, and we certainly saw a lot of that, and a very, very nice parade.
I couldn't agree more, and I'm hearing people on the side saying, do it again, do it again. So I would definitely say it was a successful parade.
Myself and Angie, James Johnson, Spence, Vern Cox, Eugene, and Mackenzie Stokes. And also here, our hard-working crew, and we've done it for a lot of years, and again, this ranks way at the top, one of the best ever. Angie, a very safe and happy 4th of July to you.
Thanks. Back to you.
All right, we've enjoyed it, and we will see you next year.